We're here in Canada at the wonderful Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. Who's going to come out fastest of all in the next hour? Yes, it's time for qualifying.
Hello everybody, it's Joe here and welcome back to my F1 24 career mode. This is round 5 of season 5. We're at Montreal for the Canadian Grand Prix and I am just buzzing after the Monaco win, and now I'm hoping that we can get some momentum going into our championship campaign. But yeah, I'm still buzzing after winning Monaco. It's always a privilege to be able to say I've won that race, and in F1 24 we have won the Monaco Grand Prix. It's the first time we've done it in an F1 game for quite a while actually. I'm not quite sure when the last one was that I won Monaco, but we have done it. Meanwhile, Q1 in Canada, going okay I guess, we're P9. As we get into Q2, I'm trying to get my lap done as soon as possible because the weather is turning and there's a lot of pressure on to get a good lap. And the first lap we did was only good enough for P15 as I made 1 or 2 errors on it. This time we're already up on our lap time, and I'm hoping it's going to be enough to get us through Q2 as we throw it into the chicane. I did go a bit wide on the first apex and I fear that may have cost us, and that has cost us because our lap time only good enough for P11 and we do not make it into Q3. So after the highs of Monaco, we are humbled here and we're out at Q2. But so too are Norris and Verstappen. That's a shocker.
Here in Montreal, lights out is quickly approaching on this artificial island originally built for the World Fair in 1967. Now it's used for a World's Fair of a different kind, ever since Formula One first arrived here. We're back in Montreal for the Canadian Grand Prix. With top speeds of around 210 miles per hour heading into the overtaking opportunity of turn 13, the 2.7 miles of the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve are some of the quickest on the Formula One calendar. There are 14 corners in total, with 60% of the lap taken at full throttle, and average speeds clock in at about 130 miles per hour. Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks like for today's race. George Russell will begin today's event in pole position, and it's Charles Leclerc in P2. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Hülkenberg, Stroll, Hamilton, Oscar Piastri, Fittipaldi, Joe, Perez, Sunshine, Norris, Sainz, Verstappen, Vesti, Tsunoda, Behrman, Gasly, Théo Pourchaire, Ocon, and Alex Albon picks up the last spot on the grid. And with lights out just moments away, and alongside me for the first time this season.
Qualifying may not have gone the way we want, but hopefully the race will. We're up to P10 because of a penalty. What can we do here? We're underway here in Canada for 35 laps of this Montreal circuit. We're having a look down the inside of turn 1, but there's no way through there. And we've got Lando Norris sticking his nose up the inside, and Norris has gone through. A little bit of contact with Norris. 3 little touches there with Lando Norris. Trying to have a look down the inside, no way through there, and Sainz having a look down the outside. But there was no way for Carlos to get through there, as we're now shaping for the outside of Norris. Again, no way through. Onto the straight, using overtake. What can we do here? Can we even get close? Not really. We don't have the best top line speed in this car, and we're struggling a little bit just to keep up there as we head towards the end of the second sector. And I nearly collide Lando Norris there by braking way too late, having to take avoiding action. And we fall behind Sainz, Verstappen and Tsunoda. But we're going to take Tsunoda straight back already. Up into P13 we go. next up, shaping up a look on Max Verstappen. If we can get him, George Russell currently leading the way. But look at this. We are fighting Max Verstappen for 12th. Oh, how the mighty have fallen. And they fall even more as we get past Verstappen, demoting him to 13th. Although Verstappen did try and hang on there, and it cost us both a bit of time. But now we're after this Sauber of Carlos Sainz running in P11. Norris still not able to advance more than P10, but he will soon, so we've got to try and make up these positions quickly. First things first though, trying to have a look down the inside of Sainz as Charles Leclerc sets the fastest lap of the race, and we then take it and go down the inside of Carlos Sainz, who really offers little to no in the way of resistance there. I don't know if it was the fact that he was unable to or just chose not to, but we're up into P10 now and starting to up into P11, should I say, sorry, and starting to apply a little bit of pressure to Lando Norris, who is holding on to that P10 position, and that will mean a World Championship point. But Carlos Sainz already having a look at trying to come back through, but I'm not going to let that happen under any circumstance. We cannot be dealing with losing further places here. I want to move forwards, not get stuck in midfield battles. At the moment, Nico Hülkenberg is having a stunning race near the front. Meanwhile, Verstappen, here he is, fighting Sainz for 12th and taking Carlos Sainz. Max Verstappen getting that position, but we're now in a fight with Lando Norris for 10th. What can we do? Is there anything we can do? I'm using overtake at my disposal. Is there a way down the inside of Norris? We're certainly taking a look, but we've gone deep. And then as we try to recover, Lando turns in towards us. And that is front wing damage again. A little clip that we could not afford. And now we've got a little bit of front wing damage, which means we are going to be understeering just a bit here. But I'm still able to hold on to this fight. They're all backing it up, to be honest. We're down the inside of Norris once again, but Lando holding on, banging wheels with us and pushing me wide, and Norris still holding on to 10th. He is not giving this up, and this race is just not going the way I hope at all. Yellow flag ahead. Who is that that's dropped? It's Nico Hülkenberg. Hülkenberg drops out of the race from what was, I think, P3. Hülkenberg, who was having a really great day, it just all goes to hell from there. And Nico Hülkenberg out of the race. And now we are Haas's sole hopes here as I start applying more pressure to Lando Norris. And we go down the inside of turn 1. And this time I'm more forceful, but Norris just not willing to back out, is he? But we do retain P9 here. But I'm struggling with the understeer thanks to the front wing. And yeah, that's just doing us no favours. As Zhou and Perez, who are locked in battle in front, are keeping us backed up here. And the rest of the front runners, well, they've kind of disappeared from this lot, haven't they? And Zhou and Perez having their own battle. I've gone a little bit deep. Lando Norris is having a look to try and get back through. And Norris is still looking for it round the outside. Is he going to get it? Is Lando going to get through? No, he doesn't. But this fight is costing me time. And it's frustrating me because it's time I don't really want to be losing. But look at the understeer we've got. We're losing traction in the tyres. And the front wing damage we've got not helping either. As Lando Norris goes down the inside and retakes P9. We're down to P10. And it's a bit of a struggle here. So I think I am just going to box this lap because we've just got no pace. It's nowhere. And it's nowhere near where we should be. And it's a frustrating day so far. I really want to be making my way closer to the front. But it's just not happening as we get past Norris on the DRS. But that's pretty meaningless because we're into the pits. In we go. We got a new front wing ready for us. Hopefully that'll help. We got hard tyres going on as well as we get into the second stint of this race. And away we go. So we do fall to the back, but hopefully some fast undercut laps, some qualifying laps should place us in a decent position. Right, out of the pits we go. What can we do here? We managed to catch up with Esteban Ocon and co before they pit, so that just shows how hard I'm pushing. Where are we going to come out though? There's Oscar Piastri. There is George Russell, so I'm confident that we've done something right because we're not that far behind the driver who I think is leading the way at the moment. So Russell, he's right behind Stroll, but he should get past Lance Stroll quite easily because Stroll is on old tyres. We're all on brand new tyres, so it won't be difficult to get past the Aston Martin. Although Stroll holding his position there. So Stroll not giving it up easy. And I can't see who that is in first. And in fact, is that Lance Stroll in genuine position? I thought maybe he's on old tyres, but actually Stroll in good position there as Hamilton tries to go and have a look round the outside. He goes for a gap that didn't really exist and nearly put me in the wall. He gave me a shove, but Hamilton is through. But his front wing might have taken a slight knock from that as we head on to the main straight. Are we going to be able to get back past Lewis Hamilton? I should think so. We're gaining. He goes to the inside. We're going to take to the outside and brake later. And we do manage to retain P4. I do think that is a genuine position for Lance Stroll. So he is genuinely fighting in the front three here as I was trying to hold on to P4 and I was really struggling for pace. And at this point I thought I'm going to try something different and go on the mediums because the hards I was losing about half a second to a second a lap to the cars in front. So I just thought, right, we're going to try the mediums to the end and hopefully they will feel better. The amount of time we were losing, I feel like we'd have dropped down the field anyway. So I don't know, it's a gamble I've taken. I was also hoping that if a safety car came out, we'd then have newer tyres to those around us. So it's something I was trying just to do something a little bit different as we go down the inside of Fred Vesti. Next up is Oliver Behrman having a bit of a race in no man's land there in P14. It's definitely not a good day to be a Red Bull driver as we try and get past the British driver who covers, but he doesn't cover that well as we take P14 and we bounce off the wall doing it. Next up is Tsunoda and Gasly, and they're being headed by Carlos Sainz. I nearly hit Gasly in the hairpin, but now we're coming back at him down the straight. So this is something of a recovery drive now as we go to try P13 on Pierre Gasly. What a miserable race it is for the Frenchman. Now we're right behind Tsunoda, but again, getting it wrong through the chicane and just costing ourselves time. But look at this is getting juicy now. This is Sainz and Tsunoda side by side. Room for one more, guys. I'm trying to find a bit of track that isn't occupied by another car. They're going side by side into the chicane. I'm trying to find some space and I'm going around the outside. We nudge wheels with Carlos Sainz. Can I take the pair of them? Yes, we can. That was some good car positioning there and a nice little overtake. I am happy with that one. We've passed Hamilton and Verstappen as well now, and we're up to P8, Sergio Perez, and this should be quite, this should be candy from a baby on the V-Carb driver as we now line up Sergio Perez. We overtake Sergio Perez and move up into P8. Next up is Lando Norris and Zhou Guanyu, and we've caught up to them pretty quickly. But I want to try and get past Norris before he gets past the Alpine. Otherwise, Norris will potentially drive away from us and make things more difficult to get into P6. Zhou, though, doing a great job in the Alpine. And we're already getting ourselves lined up to have a go at Lando Norris. Norris is having a go at Zhou. I'm going to have a go at the pair of them down the inside. We somehow make the corner and somehow make the position. It didn't work out for Norris. He's still behind Zhou, but I will happily take P6 and I will try and catch up with Fittipaldi. But I don't think we're going to have enough laps to do it. I feel like with the strategy we were on before, we would have dropped to P6 anyway with the pace we were running, because the pace we had just wasn't that strong. We were losing quite a bit of time, but it is unfortunate that we can't make ourselves anything more from that in this race. However, we do retain the fastest lap, so again, that point matters, every point matters, but it's just not been our day today. And it looks like we're going to have to settle for P6. But to be honest, given how the race was going earlier and how we were struggling to even get within the points, I'm going to happily take P6. Who is your race winner for today though? It's Charles Leclerc who wins the Canadian Grand Prix. But for us, it's going to be 9 points. P6 plus a point for the fastest lap. And still some work to be done.
And that's the end of the race. We'll see you in Parc Fermé.
And it's Monaco go for Charles Leclerc as he takes the checkered flag and wins.
What a true show of character to fight through the grid the way they did, to not get beat down by starting so far down, and to come back and win it all. Just goes to show how strong this driver is.
Ferrari are at it again. An excellent performance at today's Grand Prix, and they're certainly a team that know what they're doing out there. Well, what an end to another fantastic weekend of racing. Thanks to everyone who joined us, and we'll see you for the next one.
Charles Leclerc takes the win then. Lance Stroll, a brilliant drive in second. So no, he wasn't on old tyres. He was genuinely in that position. What a drive by Lance. And in front of his home fans too. The front three separated by half a second. But it's only P3 for Russell, so we don't actually lose out that much in the championship. So I'm not too disheartened by that. Piastri and Fittipaldi round out the top 5. We get 6th, and it's a great result for Zhou in 7th. And there are the championship standings. We're now 37 points off. We only lost 6 points in the end, which isn't too shabby, but we can't afford really to be losing any more. And look at Lance Stroll sneaking his way up the standings. He's in P4. Oscar Piastri is 5th. Leclerc now moves up to 6th in the standings with that win. And then Fittipaldi, Gasly, Perez and Hamilton rounding out the top 10 in the standings at the moment, with Max Verstappen not even able to make it into the top 10 in the standings. Like I said, how the mighty have fallen. Well, thank you for watching this instalment of Career Mode. McLaren currently leading the way in the Constructors. Don't forget to leave a like and hit subscribe if you're new here and you want to see more content from me. Until the next time, as always, I've been Joe, TTFN, ta-ta for now, take care, and enjoy the rest of your day. See you all soon.